while this clip was playing, because I thought to myself, this man is fighting for his life. Jason was trying his very hardest to not say something about my butt. He succeeded. But yeah, guys, I'm wearing gray pants. They're snug as a bug in a rug. I don't know what to tell you. The comments on this were interesting. Greensburg 74 said, Kylie wins the glutes competition by a mile. You're darn tootin', I do. My husband has a chicken ass. I tell him all the time. Kenna Confetti said, cameraman doing the Lord's work. I mean, it's hard when it's the size of the earth, okay? They are my shoes. Aren't they cool? They're kind of like rainbow shoes. You can look in the other boxes and see if there's rainbow shoes. Go ahead. Get in there, girl. I'm not going to put them on right now because I'm in the middle of doing something, but I appreciate you laying them out for me. Can you take the other ones out and see if there's anything in there? Yep, we're going to hear rustling. Tiff, that's okay. At NGL with Kylie, girl, that booty should be illegal. This is so ridiculous. Here's what I have to say about me being caked up, okay? I was a field hockey player, period. Seriously, though, for those of you who have not watched field hockey or thank you so much, or thought too much about field hockey, we play an entire game, 60 minutes of gameplay. That would be great. Thanks so much. We play, this is going to be absolutely feral. We play 60 minutes of a game in a completely squatted position. I'd say it's probably 50-50. 50% anatomy, 50% the sport I played since I was in second grade. Hey, Miss Mouse, can you go in the other room and play with your tea set maybe and your baby? I kid you not, for 45 minutes straight earlier, I was like, hey, do you want to play with me? Hey, do you want to play with me? And she was like, no, I'm over here playing with my baby. Guys, I wasn't trying to put my ass on display, okay? I wasn't trying to do that. I was trying to mind my own business and learn how to curl. Okay, you caught me in gray pants that are skin tight because your girl's got a couple extra on since I just gave birth 9 months ago. Can you lay off? God. To be fair, I'm proud of her. She always has my back. I said it. But also, make sure you support this awesome sport, okay? You can watch our special curling FAFO episode on February 3rd on YouTube. Okay, now that that's behind us, you see what you did there? Back to today's agenda. Coming up on today's episode, I'm getting in on the 2016 throwback trend. I'm going to get honest about some of the most ridiculous photos Queen Emma scoured the internet to find and promptly put it in our rundown. After that, I'm going to be joined right here by the WNBA Rookie of the Year, former #1 overall pick, the star of the Dallas Wings, and unrivaled Breeze Basketball Club, Paige Beckers. But before we get to all of that, let's start off with the real one comment of the week. I'm going to cry. Where were you drawing? On paper? You promise?
I'm drawing kids markers.
Why don't you go use the kid markers that are on the table? She just walked in here like this. There was a viral tweet a couple days ago that says, how do I explain to a non-sports fan that sometimes loving your team means turning off the game because you're superstitious and maybe they'll score if you stop watching? Yeah. And a real one at Grayson's commented, Kylie Kelce core. I just love that my influence in the world is how to practice superstitious behavior. The most ridiculous thing that I personally have done as a superstitious act, there was one time earlier, guys, it got a little dicey the end of this season for the Birds. There was one game where I thought maybe if I watch it upside down, I'm so embarrassed to be admitting this. If I watch it upside down, that'll help. I tried to flip my head upside down as if that would turn it on its head, literally. and I'd probably do it again if it had worked, but it didn't. So I can tell you, we don't have to flip ourselves upside down. That's it for Real One Comment of the Week. Now, in honor of the most viral trend of 2026 so far, let's throw it back 10 whole years. Yep, that's right, a decade. This is, Can I Be Honest About 2016? Brought to you by DoorDash. When life happens, get a little order delivered with DoorDash. For anyone unaware, this past week, everyone all over social media has been sharing their favorite photos of themselves from 2016. I did not participate in this trend, but some of the real ones dug up the photos for me anyway and somehow put them in the hands of Queen Emma. So here we are. Okay, now it's time for a proper 2016 slideshow. Holy shit. First up, this photo, oh my God. I can't. It's so bad. This picture was in Kansas City. It was the first Christmas, I think, that everyone was together. Look at Ed's mustache. Oh, it was December 2016. Okay, this is the end of 2016. At the beginning of 2016 is the first time I met Travis when we went to the Pro Bowl in Hawaii. Prime example of time where Jason was done earlier than Travis, and we got to enjoy a little bit more time off and travel to support Travis. So that's fun. Oh, yep. Okay. This is not child. This was Beer Olympics for our field hockey team in college. We were green and therefore we were aliens. I think I have antennas on my head. Mac is clearly the yellow team and they were pineapples. Number 3, this is Jason and I hugging on St. Patrick's Day. You want to talk about my ass. There's another version of that photo where he's got a whole handful. How about that? It's when we were young and free and flirty and having a good ass time. Like we're not still, but we were in, I think, like University City. There is a pretty significant bar crawl in Philly that happens. I'm all for Spirit Day, guys. I love a little spirited action. I do believe I had a shamrock ribbon in my hair. Any excuse to dress in spirited clothing. Okay, and the last one, oh my God, you're such an asshole. The last one isn't from 2016, it's from 2010. Because why shouldn't we throw it back to when I graduated high school? A real one tagged me in it, and Queen Emma keeps trying to find a way to sneak it into the show, so here we go. Queen Emma. You want to know the worst part about this picture? First of all, yes, I did a peace sign, and yes, I stuck my tongue out. Okay, I did it. And I got caught because there's a photo of it. The worst part about this is I have jeans that are what my dad would describe as so tight they look like they were painted on. And this shirt, I can almost guarantee it, okay? 50-50 shot, it's either from Forever 21 or Wet Seal. I don't know which, but there she is. And let me tell you, the messed up part about this whole thing, it's not even mine. It was my sister's. Did she know that I took it? No, because if she did, she would have showed up to that party and told me to take it off. Oh God. So long story short, embarrassing, but you know what's even better? You know what's better? When fair is fair. Because jokes on Queen Emma, I only agreed to put that belt photo into the rundown if she also shared a belt pic. So here we go. Let's see it, Queen Emma. Is that a skirt?
Yeah,
what's happening?
That's a chunky belt on top of a skirt, a color block skirt. I mean,
yeah, it is.
Pretending to be trapped in a London phone booth. That's pretty mortifying.
Yeah.
I feel like it's pretty even, to be honest with you.
Oh no, this feels so much more innocent than Maybe we'll throw it back to some more 2016 stuff. Maybe we'll do a little decade throwback with two of my closest friends from college. Let's do it. All right. That's it for Can I Be Honest About 2016, brought to you by DoorDash. Next up, Doom Scroll of the Week. Doom Scroll of the Week is brought to you by Peloton. Check out the new Peloton Cross-Training Tread Plus powered by Peloton IQ. First up on Doom Scroll, my germophobia has me straight shuddering at this one. Queen Emma, the clip, please.
Today, my husband and I were sitting in the living room watching the Thunder game with my 3-year-old. I look over, and my 3-year-old is eyeballing my husband's water cup. And I'm like, She walks over, without hesitation, slowly spits into his water glass. She was like, I was just adding more water to it. Don't ever do that again. But I always do this.
I would crash out so hard.
Okay, so always insinuates that this is something that you've done not only another time, but many, many times.
I could cry. I could straight up cry. First of all, cue the lovely woman who does food reviews and said, yuck! Yuck! I think that this about sums up the fact that ignorance is bliss is a phrase that was created in parenthood, because there are a number of things that we have come across, revelations, if you will, where my children have decided to let me know what they did and then divulged that they have been doing that. So, for instance, someone, I'm not going to name any names, someone went to the bathroom. They peed. When I went upstairs to assist another child in the restroom, there was no toilet paper in the toilet. There was pee in the toilet, but there was no toilet paper in the toilet. And I asked that child, did you throw your toilet paper in the trash can? And they said, no. And I said, did you wipe? And they said, no. And I had to sit with the fact that I have a cereal drip dryer in my house when we have plenty of toilet paper available. This is along the same lines, but I'm going to tell you what. No. Immediately no. I don't even want to share a water cup for fear that the backwash will be unbearable. All right, let's keep it scrolling because I've just discovered exactly what's going to motivate me to get my workouts in this year. And it's got 4 legs and it's covered in fluff. What? Queen Emma, the clip, please. There is a very floofy cat
There's no
on the handlebars
you could fit anywhere
of her
on
Peloton
this.
bike. If it fits,
Bro, I think you
they
can-
sits. And they
Oh my god.
nailed that.
Oh my.
Maybe I need to get a cat for my Peloton. Who knows? I do. I can't right now. We have a time. Then it will be time. And then we will address it. And Peloton might want to trademark these cat handlebars because one of our NGL queens, Leslie, sent us this video of her ragdoll cat, Eloise. Outstanding, Queen Leslie. Look at Eloise. First of all, for those audio listeners, Eloise has the perfect little white tips to her piggies. I just want one. Just one. Maybe 2. Stop it. Reminder, one of my ins for 2026 was kittens, as was not leaving the house. So this is a yes all around for me. I'm so into this. Queen Leslie, if you just want to send me more clips of Eloise, that would be so cool. Thanks. Asking for a friend. That's it for Doom Scroll of the Week, brought to you by Peloton. Coming up, I'm going to be joined by WNBA Rookie of the Year herself, Paige Beckers. In the meantime, some messages from me. This episode is sponsored by YouTube TV. If you're a mom, you know we're basically professional multitaskers. At any given moment, I'm usually feeding at least one of my tiny humans, with or without my body, letting the dog outside, and talking on the phone with Jason about dinner, or with Queen
The
Emma.
moment Kylie Kelce stepped out of her SUV outside the Kelce family home, there was a glow on her face that cameras couldn't ignore. It wasn't the cold Kansas City breeze. nor the soft winter sunlight reflecting off her coat. It was something warmer, quieter, almost emotional. Kylie had just received something she didn't expect, a personal wedding invitation from Taylor Swift herself, sealed with a soft gold edge and dated with the detail the world had been waiting to decode. And the timing couldn't have been more dramatic. Inside the Kelce household, family chatter echoed through the kitchen, the kind that feels like home. Jason laughing loudly, Wyatt humming a random tune, and Travis Kelce pacing around the island, waiting for the moment Kylie would read the card aloud. Taylor's handwriting was elegant, steady, unmistakably hers. Kylie held the envelope to her chest for a moment, feeling a quiet rush of gratitude. Not because Taylor was one of the most famous women on the planet, but because the gesture felt genuinely intimate. She finally opened it, her fingers brushing the silver lettering. Taylor and Travis request the honor of your presence. Jason leaned in, eyebrows raised, while little Wyatt hopped on her toes trying to see. But what caught Kylie wasn't just the invitation. It was the hidden date, the one Taylor had kept locked away from the public, the one no fan account, paparazzi hint, or online theory had correctly guessed. Kylie lifted her head slowly, eyes softening, whispering, "She trusted me with this." Jason watched her with a proud, teasing smile, nudging her shoulder. Well, that's what happens when you're everyone's favorite Kelce. But beneath this warm family moment was a quieter storm no one expected, because Taylor's world had been rattled just days earlier by leaked private messages involving Blake Lively. The headline buzz hadn't reached the family yet, but Travis knew. He had watched Taylor navigate that emotional terrain with composure, honesty, and a kind of painful clarity only someone living under fame's microscope understands. The tension between Taylor and Blake hadn't been a public drama, but behind closed doors, Travis had sensed the shift long before it erupted. Her messages had felt colder, more distant. Taylor had brushed it aside, tried to protect the friendship, but the truth lingered like a shadow. Now, with Kylie holding the wedding invitation, Travis stood silently in the doorway, calm, steady, supportive in a way Taylor had come to rely on. He didn't need to say anything. His presence alone felt like reassurance. The contrast was striking. Taylor, soft and vulnerable in moments like this, and Travis, the grounding force who kept everything steady. And Kylie felt it, felt the weight Taylor had been carrying. She traced her thumb along the edge of the card, her voice gentle as she said, "I need to thank her properly. She didn't have to include me like this." Jason, ever the heart of the Kelce chaos, wrapped an arm around her. "She included you because you matter, and because you treat her like a person, not a headline." The room fell into a soft, emotional stillness. Just the kind of quiet where people don't need words to feel connected. Kylie walked toward the window, the wedding card catching the faint afternoon light. Her eyes glimmered with sincerity. "I'm going to message her right now," she said, pulling out her phone. She typed slowly, thoughtfully, thanking Taylor not just for the invitation, but for trusting her with a date the world was desperate to uncover. A date hidden intentionally. A date now sitting safely inside the Kelce home. And somewhere in New York, Taylor looked at her phone and smiled. One of those small, relieved smiles that appear only when someone chooses kindness over curiosity. Her reply came quickly, warm, grateful, and tinged with the softness of a woman finding her circle again after a rough emotional season. But even as the family gathered around Kylie, everyone subtly wondered the same thing. If this was only the invitation, what details were still hidden beneath the surface of the most anticipated wedding of the decade?